With Jurassic World Evolution 2 assumedly drawing to a close now, with a total of 10 paid post-release DLC packs, we can now look back across all of the DLC from both Evolution 1 and Evolution 2 and judge them accordingly to see who gets into dinosaur heaven. There's been a total of 19 paid DLCs for these two games. But how good were they? Which was the best of the bunch? We're going to be evaluating the quality of the packs, not the free updates, just the DLC packs, and the value offered by the packs relative to the others as well. Less so, but a little bit. We're going to tackle them in release order, and if you want to go for yourselves, I will link the tier maker that I made down below in the description of this video. Let's get going. Included with the Deluxe edition of the game, the Deluxe Dinosaur Pack for Jurassic World Evolution 1 was the very first DLC. It wasn't post-release, but it still counts. It includes 5 dinosaurs: Majungasaurus, Suchomimus, Archaeornithomimus, Styracosaurus, and Crichtonsaurus. It was available, as I say, as part of the Deluxe edition for a cheaper price or as a separate later purchase for £9.99. So, let's get ranking. What's the bit you just heard, and all those little intervals are going to be pre-recorded, scripted. This is a little bit more freewheeling. I want to just go through my thought process and you folks can do the same. And we are starting with the first Deluxe pack. So this came out as a separate thing, or you could buy the Deluxe edition of the game, which is absolutely what you should have done. I have 2 main problems with this. First of all, I think it's quite a shady business practice. It's this one down here, by the way. It's a shady business practice to kind of cut that out of the game and sell it as a separate DLC right from the get-go. Don't like that at all. And it's also £9.99 or like $15 or something. It's very expensive. Some of the dinosaurs are great. Styracosaurus, especially back in Evo 1, was fantastic. Crichtonsaurus wasn't great in Evolution 1, became better in Evolution 2. Suchomimus, of course, is a classic for the game, but Majungasaurus is okay. Archaeornithomimus and Suchomimus feels a little egregious having them both in the same pack. I'm a little iffy on that. But for £9.99, and for what I would personally call a shady business practice, it's going down here. The first proper chunky DLC we got, though, was Secrets of Dr. Wu, an expansion pack for the first game that introduced 2 new maps, including a secret facility where Dr. Wu worked, 5 new dinosaurs: Stegoceratops, Ankylodocus, and Spinoraptor, our first new hybrids, Olorotitan, and a Troodon. There were new missions, new genetic unlocks like population desires, and even the ability to give the Indominus Rex a camouflage gene, which it still has to this day. Had the usual expansion pricing of £12.99, back then at least. Much better though was Secrets of Dr. Wu. 5 new dinosaurs, which most of the expansions ended up not doing by the end. This was definitely one of the bigger ones in that way. It's not going to get the very top rank. Let's find it. It's down here somewhere. I'm leaning towards B or A at the moment. So the Indominus Rex camouflage gene is fantastic. Olorotitan is good. Troodon's okay. Spinoraptor is beautiful. And you've got to think, back then, Stegoceratops I don't like, and Ankylodocus was, for me, the worst or second worst dinosaur in the game. I think the other major problem with Secrets of Dr. Wu really is that the maps and the missions I don't think were fantastic. I think the maps, we really didn't use them for anything at all. And the missions were okay, but I remember them being very, very frustrating. There was one where you had to get a dinosaur to kill another dinosaur, and it was just a pain. It really was. I just don't think it's the very best that the expansions ended up offering. But it's good. It was decent, and it was much, much better, of course, than the Deluxe pack. Releasing less than a month later, God, we were spoiled back then. The Cretaceous Dinosaur Pack introduced 3 new dinosaurs to the game. They were Carcharodontosaurus, Iguanodon, and Dreadnoughtus. It released for £3.99, which kind of became the baseline for Jurassic World Evolution 1 dinosaur packs. So, Cretaceous Dinosaur Pack. Right, so it's going in C or D. I'm contemplating here. I'm going to put it in C for now. Iguanodon, I think, is good. The Frontier Iguanodon's pretty great. Both the Carcharodontosaurus and the Dreadnoughtus I'm really not a fan of. Still true to this day, really, I don't like the basal Dreadnoughtus. I think Carcharodontosaurus is just spiky and weird and it just doesn't work for me at all. But Iguanodon's good and it's a decent price. I think 1 out of like, if it's 3 bad dinosaurs, you get a D. I think 1 decent dinosaur out of 3, you get a C rank. I think that's fair. 3 months later than that, establishing Frontier's usual timeline for DLC releases going forward, we got the Carnivore Dinosaur Pack. Another dinosaur pack, of course, this time featuring 3 carnivorous dinosaurs, shockingly enough. They were Acrocanthosaurus, Herrerasaurus, and Proceratosaurus. And much better was the Carnivore dinosaur pack, which I got to assume is this red one over here. So in the Carnivore dinosaur pack, Acrocanthosaurus, my beloved, had some fantastic kill animations. It doesn't totally look like an Acrocanthosaurus, but it's big and chunky, and it like throws things around, and it's like a big dog, and I loved it. Herrerasaurus is still one of the best dinosaurs in the game as far as I'm concerned. It's well animated. We still use it as a rig for like every medium-sized theropod in the world. It's got these lovely breathy sort of noises. Proceratosaurus, I would say, is weaker. It's not the tippity top, so I'm going to put this in... I don't think... Oh... No, it should. I think I'm going to put it in A, because I really like Acrocanthosaurus, and I really like Herrerasaurus. And Proceratosaurus is okay. So surely that's an A rank, right? If they were all fantastic, they can go in S. But I think that deserves an A. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. I'm not trying to keep these separate, I promise. It's just working out like that. The second of 3 expansion packs we'd get for Jurassic World Evolution, Claire's Sanctuary added 3 new dinosaurs in the Albertosaurus, Euoplocephalus, and Ouranosaurus. There were also 2 new maps, Nublar North and Sanctuary, and missions for both of those island areas. It also introduced the paleobotany system, where you'd use greenhouses to grow special stat-boosting food, and the Jurassic Truck Tour attraction, which is still in the game to this day. This is very much a mixed bag for me. Where's Claire's Sanctuary? Where are you at, Claire? There she is. I'm going to put it in B for now, and then we'll think about it a little bit more. So we've got some really good stuff here. Euoplocephalus, sort of Ouranosaurus, the Sanctuary map, the Truck Tour, but then we've got a lot of stuff that feels a bit like the missions, the paleobotany, Nublar North, Albertosaurus to an extent, which some of you may love, but I don't per se. I think this is also going to go in B for me personally. I am going to put it above Secrets of Dr. Wu though. I think it's better than Secrets of Dr. Wu. Claire's Sanctuary was followed up with, rather appropriately, the Herbivore Dinosaur Pack. Like the other packs, this introduced 3 new dinosaurs in the Dryosaurus, Homalocephali, and the Nigersaurus. They'd proved to be a pretty good fit for the paleobotany established in the previous DLC. So next up, the Herbivore Dinosaur Pack. It's weird to think that Homalocephali in particular was a DLC dinosaur, because I use it all the time. As you'll know if you've watched my videos, Homalocephali is the dinosaur that I murder whenever humanly possible. Dryosaurus is beautiful and really well made. Nigersaurus I don't use very often, but I think is well done and looks unique and quite good. And you know, for a £3.99 dinosaur pack, it wasn't thrilling stuff, but Dryo and Homalocephali in particular feel like good dinosaurs to fit into most parks, and they kind of just fit nicely into the game. Do I prefer this to the Carnivore pack is the question. I'm tempted towards yes, honestly. I think I'm gonna put it higher. I'd say it's very, very... Wait, can I? Yeah. I'd say it's very, very close. But I'm going to put the Herbivore pack a tiny, tiny bit higher. Penultimately, we got perhaps the most controversial DLC for this first game, the Raptor Squad Skin Collection. At full price, this only costs £1.49, less than half the price of the other dinosaur packs. But it simply added 4 Velociraptor skins to the game for the Jurassic World Raptor pack. Blue, Charlie, Echo, and Delta became available. Okay, next up we have the Raptor Squad Skin Collection, and there it is there, and there it is there. I don't need to think about this one. The Raptor Squad were a fundamental part of Jurassic World, so for them to not only not be in the base game, but then to be sold as extras just feels really weird to me, and I'm not okay with it. It's the kind of thing I think they have moved away from a little bit with time. I don't think they would do it now. I think it was a misstep. And I think the response to the collection maybe showed them it was a misstep. For me, this is even worse than Deluxe Edition. I think that's really... I don't think you can do that. I think that's just wrong, personally. So, yeah, it's going in D. There we go. The final ever DLC for Jurassic World Evolution was also its biggest, as reflected in the price at a bumper £15.99, £3 more than the previous expansion packs. There was a lot of content though. It only contained 2 new species, Pteranodon and Compsognathus, but it also included a huge array of new skins for existing dinosaurs like Velociraptor, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Gallimimus and Brachiosaurus, as well as 2 new maps on Isla Nublar and Sauna, and a huge number of classic Jurassic Park buildings like the Visitor Center, the Aviary, the Raptor Paddock, as well as brand new missions, including returning voice actors from the original cast. And then we have Return to Jurassic Park. This might be controversial because I think everyone's expecting me to just shove this up in S. But you know what? It has the problem again where I feel like it should already be in the game by default. I feel like back then we were kind of starved. So Return to Jurassic Park felt like a bigger deal than it was necessarily. As much as I think it did a lot of good for the game, things like the aviary was such a big step and led to so much we got. Only 2 new species, £15.99. So many new buildings though. I think this might seem controversial. I'm going to put it in A. I'm going to put it at the top of A, but I'm not going to give it the top rank. And I think when we come to Evolution 2 and we compare Return to Jurassic Park with the expansions in Evolution 2, Return to Jurassic Park will seem worse by comparison. So I'm going to put it in A now. Like I say, I reserve the right to move things around. We shall see. Like with the first game, there was a deluxe edition for Jurassic World Evolution 2 that included 5 new species. Attenborosaurus, Pachyrhinosaurus, Huiyangosaurus, Megalosaurus, and Geosternbergia. This time it also included 3 DPG vehicle skins and some bonus signs for your in-game shops. It did launch for £14.99 though. Okay, we are on to Evolution 2. We've got the Deluxe Dinosaur Pack and whoop, there it goes. It can go in the middle. This one, actually, you know, this might be even worse. This might be the worst thing they've ever done, personally. Not only did it include... Right, I will say the species this time around were a lot better than in the first game. Things like Pachyrhinosaurus, other than the terrifying humanizer, is great. Attenborosaurus is one of my favourites. Megalosaurus is... I mean, Megalosaurus is okay. Geosternbergia are okay. But there are 2 main problems with this Deluxe Edition pack. The first is... Huiyangosaurus is one of the dinosaurs in the 5, and that was a base game dinosaur in the previous game. I think cutting out a previous dinosaur to then sell it in a separate DLC or to force people to buy the Deluxe Edition is a horrible thing. I don't think you can do that at all. I think that is egregious, and that's one of the main reasons it's back here. The third reason is the cost. This thing cost £14.99, ladies and gentlemen. It was 50% more than the Deluxe Edition for the first game. The first DLC proper launched just a month after release with Evolution 2's first dinosaur pack, the Early Cretaceous pack. Thanks to the addition of aviaries and lagoons, the species packs worked a little differently this time around. We got 4 animals rather than 3, 2 dinosaurs, 1 lagoon animal, 1 aviary animal. This time that was Minmi, Huiyangosaurus, Sungaripterus, and Chronosaurus. The price did also increase by 50% to £5.99 to account for this additional species. Okay, so down here we have our Early Cretaceous pack. Quality-wise, it's a mixed bag. Minmi is one of my all-time favourite dinosaurs in the game. I think it's incredible. Wahoosaurus is pretty nice as well. I don't use it very often, but I think it's a really nicely done dinosaur. You know, mid to up tier. Sungaripterus kind of bores me, if I'm totally honest. And Chronosaurus is nice as well. I think we're going... I don't know. Putting it in A, I feel like I've been too generous. I kind of want to put it here. You've got to keep in mind here, I'm not saying that this is better than Claire's Sanctuary. You've got to look at it relative to other dinosaur packs. Our first of what would have become a norm for Evolution 2, a branded tie-in pack. Firstly, this time with the Camp Cretaceous Dinosaur Pack. Retailing at £8, it featured just 2 new species, the Scorpius rex and the Monolophosaurus, but it also included variants for Rhinosaurus and Kentrosaurus, and new skins for Ankylosaurus, Baryonyx, Tyrannosaurus rex, Carnotaurus, and Parasaurolophus. Camp Cretaceous Dinosaur Pack, only 2 new species. Scorpius rex, I really like. Monolophosaurus didn't make much impression on me, it must be said. We've got the variants for the Tyrannosaurus, which I really don't like, and the Kentrosaurus, which I do like. I don't think this is a great pack. I thought I was going to put this higher, but my mind is saying C. I think for £8 to only get 2 new species is a little iffy, to be honest. And one of them I don't even like, so already that's not great ranking-wise. The variants and all the new skins and stuff is fine, but I think it really depends on how much you like Camp Cretaceous. And Camp Cretaceous for me was fine. It wasn't great. You know, I don't get like a particular thrill seeing all of the Camp Cretaceous dinosaurs in Evolution 2. If you do, I'm sure you'd rank it higher. This is, of course, going to be a very personal ranking. I'm going to put it in D. I've changed my mind. It's going down here. I think it's probably the worst of the dinosaur packs, you know? The first big chunky expansion for Jurassic World Evolution 2 was the Dominion Biosyn expansion, retailing for the same £15.99 that Return to Jurassic Park established previously. It did contain quite a lot though. 4 new species in the Therizinosaurus, Pyroraptor, Dimetrodon and Quetzalcoatlus, 2 new variants for Giganotosaurus and Dreadnoughtus, and a bunch of cosmetic skins for things like the Dilophosaurus, Parasaurolophus and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then there's 2 new maps in Sierra Nevada and Biosyn Valley, both with new missions and mechanics attached. There was the Hyperloop underground network to connect your buildings, there's the Amber Mines system, and a new building set themed around Biosyn, including invisible fences. So, Dominion Biosyn expansion, our first big DLC for Evolution 2. 4 new species, Therizinosaurus, Pyroraptor, Dimetrodon. I mean, I'm just gonna do it right now. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, as they say in the clubs, but I think this is probably the best DLC Frontier's ever done. Look, all 4 creatures are great. Therizinosaurus is awesome. Pyroraptor, I guess I didn't love it release, but the Frontier skins for it are really, really nice. Dimetrodon is great and was like a whole new thing that we didn't have before, these kind of ancient tetrapods. Quetzalcoatlus, massively oversized, but that's not their fault. Also has all these really cool animations, the helicopter attack, the human kill animation, the cosmetic skins for Dilophosaurus and stuff are really cool. The Parasaur cosmetic skins are like the best Parasaur skins in the game, in my opinion. The Giga remodel is good, the new Dreadnoughtus is good. More importantly than any of that, we got invisible fences. But more importantly than any of that is the addition of Biosyn Valley, which is kind of like with Claire's Sanctuary, where Sanctuary became the default map I use. Biosyn Valley is that for me. I love the Biosyn Valley map with the mist and fog rolling through the trees. Oh, it's just beautiful. The building kind of adapted as you leveled up through the map, through the missions. The missions were decent, you know, we had new mechanics going on in Sierra Nevada and Biosyn Valley. We had the fires and stuff like that. I think this is probably the best DLC that they've ever done. The late Cretaceous pack followed a few months later, ensuring that all DLC speculation from that point forward would be jokes about a possible mid-Cretaceous pack. Once again, the pack contained 4 new animals: Alamosaurus, Australorhinator, Barbarodactylus and Styxosaurus. It also added drones to the game, little flying or swimming electronics that would head into aviaries and lagoons respectively to tidy things up that your ranger teams couldn't reach. That was unfortunately followed by the late Cretaceous pack. Alamosaurus is decent, Australorhinator is decent, Barbarodactylus I don't really like. My problem with Barbarodactylus is that it doesn't look like a Barbarodactylid. They've kind of taken, they did things like the frill of skin on the crest, right? Which, like, it's fine if you want to speculate about that, but it just makes it look like the other pterosaurs in the game. Whereas Barbarodactylids are often depicted not having the skin there, you got this big spiky bits at the top, it looks really interesting, unique, and they just didn't do that. They also got the fingers wrong. Styxosaurus is beautiful, by far the best creature in the pack, but I don't think it's enough to redeem what is a fairly mid to low tier pack. I'm going to put it in C, actually. This is one of the reasons I put the Cretaceous pack in D is because I was thinking ahead to this pack right here, and I thought, it's better than the Cretaceous pack, but it's not better than these. Next up, we had the second, and as it turned out, final expansion pack for Jurassic World Evolution 2, the Dominion Malta expansion. It contains 4 new species in Atrociraptor, Lystrosaurus, Oviraptor, and Morris Intrepidus, as well as a new variant in the Iguanodon, and new skins for Carnivore, Dimorphodon, and Allosaurus. There are 3 new Maltese-themed maps this time. These maps had new missions, with returning voice actors again from the Dominion film, a new Maltese-themed building set, and new features like a natural lagoon and a black market. So, Dominion Malta, our second and final expansion. Only 2 expansions, which is sad. 4 new species. Atrociraptor, pretty good. Decent, I would say. Lystrosaurus, pretty good. Oviraptor, pretty good. Morris Intrepidus, pretty good. None of these became my favourite dinosaurs in the game or anything like that, but they were all decent. The Iguanodon variant is really nice. The new Carnotaurus, Dimorphodon and Allosaurus skins are all really nice as well. I think they're all improvements. The main problem I have with Malta is really the 3 new maps. I don't think any of the 3 maps are nice to build on. I don't think the texture and the colours and all that is very nice. I thought the natural lagoon was quite disappointing, all told. It's solidly mid-tier. I was gonna put it in A, but I'm gonna put it in B, I think. I'm tempted to lower Dr. Wu, if I'm honest. I don't like the hybrids. I'm gonna put Dr. Wu down there. I'm gonna shift things about a little bit. I'm gonna put it there for now, I think. The first of 5 dinosaur packs that would finalize Evolution 2's run, the Feathered Species pack also represented a big change in dinosaur design approach by Frontier. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment, I'm sure. 4 new species, all feathered: Dinochirus, Jehalopterus, Sinosauropteryx and Utaranus all joined the park. It also added the insect feeder for the Jehalopterus. So the Feathered Species pack, as I said, it kind of, for me, it started, this is where things shifted a little bit. There's one more bad pack to come, but other than that, dinosaur design-wise, things really changed here and things got a lot higher quality. Not only were Frontier willing to do full feathered creatures in the wake of Dominion Biosyn, you know, with the Therizinosaurus and Pyroraptor, but the quality just went up in general. Things felt more paleo-accurate, but still Jurassic appropriate. This was a turning point for Frontier's design for me, and I really hope they stick with it, and it's something we get more of in the future. So again, 4 species: Dinochirus, beautiful; Jehalopterus, fun, not my favourite to use, it's just a little bit too small, but fun, unique inclusion; Sinosauropteryx, adorable, really well made and cute; Utaranus, absolutely beautiful. I think this is an S tier pack, maybe. It also added the insect feeder for the Jehalopterus, and then didn't use it for any other creature in the entire game. The insect feeder is still there, and is only used for Jehalopterus, which feels like a big mistake to me, but hey ho. Next, we got the Prehistoric Marine Species pack, our first marine-specific pack. As usual, this introduced 4 new species, all aquatics this time around: the Archelon, Dunkleosteus, Nothosaurus and Shonisaurus. It also introduced the new Lagoon Rock. Then we got the Marine Species pack. 3 out of 4 of them, even Nothosaurus to an extent, they're pretty great. Archelon is really nicely made. I don't love the patterns, but it's pretty good other than that. Dunkleosteus is fantastic. Nothosaurus I'm not the biggest fan of. Shonisaurus is absolutely beautiful. Utterly beautiful. And the Lagoon Rock is pretty cool as well. I'd love to see that used again in future as well. It's either a high B or a low A. I can't really decide. I'm going to put it... I think I'm putting it there. I'm going to put it in low A. It's going to go low A instead. I really like the Dunkleosteus. I think the Shonisaurus is one of the most beautiful animals in the entire game. Of course, we couldn't escape with yet another Cretaceous-themed pack. This time, the Cretaceous Predator pack. I'm expecting Evolution 3 to have like the Cretaceous Herbivore pack and the Mid-Cretaceous pack and the early to Mid-Cretaceous pack. This pack also had 4 animals: Gigantoraptor, Concavenator, Utahraptor and Tarbosaurus all joined the game, with Tarbosaurus featuring a skin matching its appearance in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Then we got the Cretaceous Predator pack, and that is this doohickey here. I'm gonna maybe controversially put this in high B. Concavenator and Utahraptor are 2 of the very... No, it has to go away. I think they're so good, they drag the pack up. I'm actually gonna put it there. I've changed my mind quite quickly on this. I'm gonna... Okay, yeah, I feel better about that. Utahraptor and Concavenator are 2 of the very best dinosaurs in the game. Utahraptor might be the best dinosaur in the entire game for me personally. It is staggering. Tarbosaurus, I didn't love initially, but I've got to say, seeing it in game, the Frontier skins are really nice, and it really grew on me. Gigantoraptor had problems at launch in that it wasn't a predator, which was weird. I don't love the Gigantoraptor modeling wise, but I think it's decent, and it's really unique, which I really like. Yeah, no, it's an A tier pack. Yeah, I'm gonna stop debating that. I think it actually might go a little bit higher to about there, personally. The penultimate pack for Jurassic World Evolution 2 was also its most controversial, the Secret Species pack. Bringing back the 3 hybrids from Secrets of Dr. Wu, that's Spinoraptor, Stegoceratops and a remodeled Ankylodocus, as well as the Spinoceratops from Camp Cretaceous, along with 2 screen match skins. This pack also added new Lux skins to all of its hybrids. It's a C or a D, I'm not sure which it is at this point in time. There's a couple problems here. First of all, bringing back the hybrids and making us pay again is, again, horrible. I don't think that's allowed. I think that's bad. Now, it is worth noting that the Ankylodocus was remodeled. The Ankylodocus is pretty superb now. It's really, really nice. The Stegoceratops, however, is still ugly, and the Spinoraptor, as much as I love it, has not had any changes. But I think just on the basis that I don't think you can you'll notice that 4 of these DLCs are the same problem. I feel like I've been harsh on there. I'm going to put Camp Cretaceous up there. Now, I'll accept that there are good reasons for this. Not only did we get the final pack quite soon afterwards, but Frontier unfortunately went through a lot of layoffs back in Christmas. And, you know, things were very up in the air, people lost their jobs, which is way more important than the quality of a DLC. So there is a suspicion, from me at the very least, that the Secret Species pack was made because they had access to 2 of these animals already, and they could kind of get away with a little bit more because they probably had, you know, a lot of turnover going on, a lot of havoc going on. So I totally get that, but I'm just trying to evaluate the packs outside of that context. So whilst I understand, I think in terms of value for money, in terms of, I think, being a decent company to your consumers, I can't really support the Secret Species pack at all. I think they should have been in the game by default, and that's just the way it is. The final pack for Jurassic World Evolution 2, the 10th post-launch DLC, giving us 3 more than we got for the first game, was the Park Manager's Collection pack. This pack added some long-requested fan-favourite species in the Megalodon, Microceratus, and Segisaurus. Thanatos Draken was also there. It also added a little ET skin to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, just to round out those canonical skins. The final pack then, Park Manager Collections pack, added 4 fan favourites and Thanatos Draken. Well, 3 fan favourites. I don't get Thanatos Draken at all. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Why it wasn't a Hatzegopteryx is completely beyond me, but that's neither here nor there. But the other 3, I mean, I will say, that shouldn't matter, right? Because stop thinking of it as a fan favourite pack and just look at the quality of the 4 creatures. Thanatos Draken is really nice. It's a really, really well done pterosaur. The Megalodon is incredible, one of my all-time favourite creatures. Microceratus I don't particularly love. I think they did a good job of it. I think the animations are really, really cute. I don't love the movie design, but, you know, their hands are tied with that. Segisaurus brings the pack down a little bit. It's by far the worst of the 4. It's very, very boring. And Little ET Skin, I think it's A tier. I don't think it's quite going to hit the very tippity top. I think if this pack here had 1 better species, it would also be in the S rank. But I think these are the only 2 I'm going to give. It's going to go high, though. It's going to go high. Is it going to go above the Cretaceous Predator? I don't think so. I'm going to put Cretaceous Predator up in S. I've changed my mind. It's just going to slink into S rank. But I am going to slink it up to S rank. And I'm going to put, I think, the Park Managers at the top of A. Something like that. I'm going to lower the Herbivore pack. I think. Because as much as Tyrannosaurus is okay, it is kind of just okay. And Homalocephaly is... Yeah, no, I'm going to lower the Herbivore pack a little bit. I've been staring at the screen for hours. I am going to say that is my final ranking. As I say, I will link this down below, this tier maker, so if any of you want to download it for yourselves, feel free, and, you know, let me know in the comments. Link me to your tier lists in the comments down below. I'd be really curious to see how the rest of you rank all of these DLCs as well. I'm sure there will be some of you will have this, like, really high, for example. Some of you will have, I think, this really low. Some of these a bit higher. You know, Secret Species pack, maybe, you know, I care about this kind of stuff, but maybe you don't. You know, that's totally valid. I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts and opinions. But till then, that is it from me. That is my final tier ranking of Evolution 1 and Evolution 2's DLCs. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you lovely folks very, very soon. Thanks for joining me. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.
Road.